Do you have some sort of goal or dream or desire that you're trying to accomplish? Are you desiring success, but the task is too big? The dream is too great. Maybe you don't have enough support. Maybe you don't have a lot of people helping you. Maybe you don't have a lot of money. Maybe you want to write a book, but uh, you're afraid of making mistakes. Maybe you already wrote a book, but you're not getting the sales that you want. Maybe you started a YouTube channel, but you're not getting the subscribers you need. Whatever it is that you're desiring, there's something that's in your way. There's something that's hindering you. Yeah, you got a lot of haters. Yeah, you got a lot of people who don't support you. Yeah, you got a lot of dream killers. But what if I told you I found the biggest culprit that's hindering your success? That biggest culprit is you. Walk with me. Listen, I'm Billy Miller, the motivational minister, and they call me the motivational minister because I help people to improve their lives by teaching them life skills from the Bible. And today I'm going to be teaching you a message called Don't Miss the Grapes. Oh, this is going to be good. And this message is inspired by this book, Don't Miss the Grapes. I know you never heard of this book. I know you never seen this book because this is my first unpublished book. I never published the very first book I ever wrote, unpublished. I've been thinking about revising it and publishing it later, maybe into an ebook. Listen, you let me know in the comment section if this is a book that you think you would want to read. And anyway, but let me know after you hear this message, and maybe I'm gonna give you a taste of it so you can see the direction I'm going. And you let me know if you think I should go move forward with producing that book. But listen, this is going to be a powerful message. It's going to an inspiring message, and I think it's going to help you. And it's not going to take me that long to break down what I mean by "Don't Miss the Grapes." And listen, I want you to watch to the end also, because at the end, I'm going to give you my 5 greatest takeaways that you can apply to your own life that cause you to hit every goal, hit every target, and avoid all of these obstacles. So listen, let's get into it. So listen, and they won't, like I said, it's not going to take me that long. You know the story in the Bible where God told God to go and deliver his people from Egypt, right? And so God, let's start off with this. This is what God told Moses. Let's get into it. Then the Lord said to Moses, I have seen the troubles my people have suffered in Egypt, and I have heard their cries when the Egyptians hurt them. I know about their pain. Listen, this is what God said to them about his people then. He's still saying this now. Listen, God sees the trouble that you're in. Listen, God knows you've been hurting. He sees your pain. He feels your pain. He heard your tears. He knows what you're going through. And a lot of you are out there suffering silently. A lot of you are suffering loudly. But whatever it is that you're going through, listen, God knows what you're going through. He sees your trouble. He wants to bless you. He wants to help you. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. Because some of you are watching and you're ready to quit. You're ready to give up. You're ready to throw in the towel. But listen, you can't quit now. As a matter of fact, I got something that's going to help you too. I got a free resource called You Can't Quit Now. It's going to help you to persevere until you get results. It's going to help take you from where you are to where you want to be. This is a free book. If you would like this book, just comment book in the comment section and I'm going to give it to you. Because God want to take you from where you are to where you want to be, but you can't quit. He sees your troubles. He feels your pain. And God continued to say, he says, I have come to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and bring them from that land to a good land. So the other land must be bad, right? He says, I'm going to take them from that land to a good land with plenty of room for everyone. Even here, God says, listen, I'm going to take them from where they are, this bad land, to a good land, to a land that they want to be, right? And so he continued and said, now he went to go tell them about this land that he promised them. Listen, I'm going to deliver you from that area. I'm going to deliver you from that poverty. I'm going to deliver you from that struggle. I'm going to deliver you from that pain. And I'm going to take you to this promised land. And he said about this land, he said it's a land flowing with milk and honey. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. Land flowing with milk and honey. Now he said some other people that's there now. You got some other people that's possessing of the land now, but this is the land that I want for you. This is the land that I have for you. Listen, the money that you need, somebody else has it now. The land that you need, somebody else has it now, but God is going to put it in your hands. He sees the pain that you're going through. He sees the struggle that you're going through, and he's going to deliver you. I hope this is making sense. If I'm saying anything that makes sense or that you like, make sure to hit that like button. And so listen, there were 12 tribes of Israel. So God commanded Moses to take a leader from each tribe, right? 12, to go and spy out this land. So he wanted them to go and look on this land. And this was like 40 days. And he wanted them to go over there and watch how everything's done. Watch how they're living over there. Look at the landscape. He wanted them to do a total inspection. Look and see what, the walls of protection. Everything about this land, God wanted them to go on there, take a tour, spy out the land so he can see what it's like. And then he continued. As a matter of fact, this is a long story. I'm not going into the whole story, but just so you can have the scripture references. This is from Numbers chapter 13 and 14. So write that down, take a screenshot, and go read the full story later. I'm just taking out pieces that I want to get to you about this. Don't miss the grapes. All right. And so when God told them to go spy out the land, right, he continued and said, he says, then try to get some fruit from that land and bring it back here. So they went and got some pomegranates, they got some figs, but they also got some grapes. And you see right here, it says it was the time of year for the first grapes to be ready to eat. Oh man, we're going somewhere. Stay with me. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. So it says, when they came to the valley of Eshcol, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that word Eshcol means cluster. He says, when they came to the valley of Eshcol, they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes so large that it took two of them to carry it on a pole between them. Oh man, listen, you ever went to the store and got some big juicy grapes? I'm talking about some big juicy grapes. It's usually like, it's about like these grapes right here, right? So you got see these grapes right here? You got about a handful of grapes, right? You can carry that in one hand. Can you imagine it being so big you got to carry it in both hands? Can you imagine that? If so, listen, can you imagine look at the last line. It says a cluster of grapes so large that it took two people to carry it on a pole between them. Can you agree that these are some big, juicy grapes? These are some grapes I want. These are some grapes you want. Don't miss the grapes. All right, we're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. Come on, walk with me now. Walk with me. So look, he continued and said, no, okay, so they they did what God told them to do, right? They went and spied out the land. They brought back the fruit. They brought back this big old cluster of grapes, took 2 men to carry them, right? And this is now they gave the report to Moses about what they saw when they went on the land, right? It says, this is what they said. It said, we went to the land where you sent us. It really is a land flowing with milk and honey. Here's some of its fruit. So they're like, man, it's just like God said. It's flowing with milk and honey. And look at these grapes. Do you see these grapes? Oh man, I'm telling you, it's everything and more of what God said. Listen, these grapes were just a sample of where they were headed. You want to know what else is a sample of where you're headed? This word. This word is it's the proof of what you're believing God for is real. The grapes is also in here. The word is grapes. Are you following what I'm saying? The grapes were like are symbolic of the promises of God. And that's how I like to look at this. The grapes. So look at it. Let's do it like that. Grapes, these grapes represent the promises of God. The grapes represent the promises of God. Don't miss out on God's promises. Don't miss the grapes. Listen, they brought back the grapes so you can see what it looked like. God has brought you the word so you can see what it looks like. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And so, listen, up until this point of the story, it's sounding good. Up until this point of the story, it's like, oh man, we got a plan. Up until this point of the story, it's like, shoot, they done gave a report. They got these huge grapes. And I know right now you probably like, they like, okay, shoot, let's go. But then they said, but, B-U-T. Somebody write the word but in the comment section. But, because a lot of you have dreams, a lot of you have goals, but you need to get your butt out of the way. Get it? Get your butt out of the way. What does the word but mean? The word but means on the contrary. The word but means on the other hand. The word but means despite of what I just said, regardless of what I just said, what I'm about to say is what really remains. I know what I said was good, but when somebody say but, that means regardless, forget what I just said, regardless of what I just said, okay, how good it was. But whatever I'm about to say, this is where we really at. And what did they say? They said, but the people living there are very powerful. The cities are very large and strongly defended. We even saw some Anakites there. We saw some thugs over there. We can't go over there. They got some killers over there. They got some killers. They got some skilled fighters over there. I mean, they strong. But listen, that was 10 of the leaders. Remember, God said 12 leaders to spy out the land. 10 of them gave that report. Like, man, I don't know. They well equipped over there. They got guns. They got. I'll just paraphrase, but you know, they look. They got. Look, I don't know. They kind of strong over there. They know how to fight, right? Excuse me. But it was 2 of the leaders named Joshua and Caleb. And if you've been following my teachings, you know one of my favorite definitions of faith is the reality of seeing yourself doing it. And Joshua and Caleb were operating in faith because they see themselves going over there and taking over the land. Right? But these other 10, they saw the land, but their butt was in the way. They said, but there's some killers over there. And so they started murmuring amongst themselves. People like, oh, really? Oh, really? They over there? Like, they strongly defending, and they start talking. And so Caleb jumped up and was like, okay, everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. Shh. Caleb interrupted, called for silence before Moses, and said, let's go up and take the land now. We can do it. We can do it. Listen, you can do it too. I'm talking to you. You can do it too. You can do this. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever it is that you're trusting God for, you can do this. So look, he was trying to convince them, but they still had their butt in the way. He said, but we cannot fight these people. They are much stronger than we are. And here's a problem. They don't want to fight because they think those people are stronger than they are. You don't want to write the book because you think the task is bigger than you. You're not pursuing. You're not trying to take on the task because the task is greater than you. You're seeing the obstacle. Stop looking at the obstacle in every opportunity and start looking at the opportunity in every obstacle. Chew on that for a minute. Oh man. Oh man. Stay with me. Stay with me. They continued and said, the land we saw is full of strong people. They are strong enough to easily defeat anyone who goes there. We saw the giant. They say we saw giants over there. See, you see the goal, but you see the giant in front of you. Oh, man, see, you can you know you've seen people sell 1 million books, but you can't see yourself selling 1 million books. That's too big. That's giant. You've seen people who have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but you can't see yourself having. I mean, that's a giant. The doctor said that there's no cure for cancer, and you can't see. You're looking at a giant. That's what they said. Oh man, no, there's giants over there. And look, this next line right here, this is what says it all. They said, we saw ourselves as grasshoppers, and that's how we appeared to them. In other words, they said, we saw ourselves like grasshoppers, and they saw us like grasshoppers too. Let me ask you a question. Come here. Let me ask you a question. How do they know how they giants see them? Think about that. They say, look, we're like grasshoppers in our sight, and look, they see us as grasshoppers too. How do they know that? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you what happened. I want you to hear this. How you see yourself is how you perceive that other people see you. Chew on that for a minute. How you see yourself is the way that you think other people see you. See, you can't believe in yourself. That's why you think that other people are sabotaging you. That's why you think other people are looking down on you, because you're looking down on yourself. How do you see yourself? And that was the problem. That's why they were scared. That's why they was talking about these giants, because they couldn't see themselves. They saw themselves as grasshoppers. But Joshua and Caleb, however, saw themselves different. Oh man, let me show you what happened. Let me show you what happened. Because they saw themselves as grasshoppers, it says the Israelites complained against Moses and Aaron. All the people came together and said to Moses and Aaron, we should have died in Egypt or in the desert. I said, what? God done brought us out here just to saw us so we can die? And they started complaining against God. They started blaming God, blaming Moses, complaining against Moses and Aaron. They started complaining. Oh man, listen, I did a teaching one time called Blame Won't Unclog the Drain. Go watch that video. I'll put it in the description, the link in the description of this video. Listen, complaining is the worst thing you can do. Complaining doesn't work. It just irks, and it sure enough irked God, because God got mad. God got upset at all this complaining that was going on. Listen, just like God hears your cries, he hears your complaints too, but the complaints ain't gonna go in your favor. It's not gonna work out the way you want to do it. Where you expecting it to work, so don't complain. Don't blame. When you play the blame game, when you play the blame game, you'll lose every time. That's a Billy Miller quote. Quote me in that. Tag me on Facebook. You may say it again. I'll say it again for you. I said, don't play the blame game, because when you play the blame game, you'll lose every time. So check this out. They complaining, everybody complaining. They starting to panic. They, I don't know what God should have just let us die in Egypt. Can we go back to being slaves? Can you take? They just doing all kinds of stuff that just. And Joshua and Caleb was the only two that was walking in faith. And they came And they try to give them a pep talk, a motivational speech. Say, listen, we can do this. We can do this. Because remember, I told you they were seeing themselves as grasshoppers. Listen, here's the key. You're gonna have to operate in faith, and faith is the ability to the reality of seeing yourself doing. And that may be your problem. You're not seeing yourself doing. You may say, Billy, well, what am I? Okay, if I see myself as a grasshopper, what do I do? It doesn't make you a bad person. You just need to get into the word, develop your faith until you're able to see yourself doing. That's the simple answer to that. And see what happened. The first step is to acknowledge that. If you can acknowledge, hey, I'm seeing myself as a grasshopper, then you're okay to change. But of course, nobody's going to admit that they're not operating in faith. They don't want to admit to that because they feel like it's being a failure or a loser. No, you're not. You're just a human. You're a Christian, and you're learning. And certain things that I can't see myself doing, I don't. And certain things I believe can be done, but I can't see myself doing. That doesn't make me a bad person. It just means I need to develop my faith until I'm like Joshua and Caleb and say, we can do this. And this is what Joshua and Caleb, they stood up, they gave a motivational speech amongst all these people, calmed them down and said, listen, we can do this. God didn't bring us this far to leave us. I mean, they gave a good sermon, a good motivational pep talk. They said, we can go and overtake the land. Look at these grapes. This is the sample. There are bigger grapes. There are more grapes when we get there. And at this point, you would have thought, oh man, they riled up, excited. You'd have thought at this point, they like, shoot, let's go. Hey, let's go. Look at this next line. It says, all the people began talking about killing Joshua and Caleb with stones. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It ain't funny, but it's funny. Because I'm just sitting here visualizing this like a movie, and I'm like, I can see them giving that speech, you know what I'm saying? They like Eric Thompson up there, motivation coach. Let's go, let's get it. And they looked around and said, look, we need to just kill them because they crazy. They trying to get us to go over there and get killed. Let's just go and take them out. Moses and Aaron too. Let's just go and stone them to death. People try to stone you because you trust in God. People try to stone you because you're trying to exercise your faith. People are trying to kill your dream because they can't dream. People are trying to kill your dream because they live in a nightmare. And the people who can't see past their bills, past their failed marriage, past their mistakes are not the best resource for helping you to develop your vision, your dream. I hope this helps. Listen, as I promised you, I'm gonna give you my 5 greatest takeaways, then I'm gonna let you go. All right, real quick, 5 greatest takeaways that help you to achieve the grapes. Because listen, I want you to achieve the promises. I don't want you to miss out on opportunities because of obstacles. Are you following me? I don't want you to miss out on opportunities because of a lack of faith. I don't want you to miss out on opportunities because you're seeing yourself as a grasshopper. I don't want you to miss out on opportunities because you're listening to the dream killers. Are you following me? So here are 5 steps to achieving the grapes. All right. Step number 1. I'm gonna go through it quick. Step number 1, and this is based off of the greatest thing out of the story we just read. Like I said, there's more to the story. Just read Numbers chapter 13 and 14. You can read the rest of that. But number 1, find the promises in the Word of God. Listen, this is the first grapes right here. The manifestation is the second grapes. You got it? So find the promises in the Word. Whatever it is that you're trusting God for, find it in the Word. You got sickness in your body, find healing in here. You have in financial problems, find prosperity and success in here and wealth in here. You're lonely, you have a mate in here. Are you following? Everything you feel like you're in danger, find protection in here. All of the promises of God, these are the grapes, find it in here. Then once you find it, your step number 2 is you're going to develop your faith. Remember I said faith is the reality of seeing yourself doing it. So how do I develop my faith? Listen, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna put some videos in here, some that you can just further grow. Like this is a course. I'm gonna put some videos in here on how to develop your faith. I'm putting a video in here about blame don't unclog the drain. Just look at the description of this video and look at the related videos and just have a binge party and grow. But you're going to have to develop your faith, and I'm going to show you how to develop your faith. And you're going to have to develop your faith until you can able to see yourself living out this word, until you can see yourself doing it, until you can see yourself going to take over the land, until you say, we can do this. I can do this. Step number 3, avoid dream killers. There's going to be some people around you with grasshopper mentalities. You're going to have to cut them off. Well, maybe I shouldn't say cut off. You just going to have to not spend time with them. I'm not saying go cut people off, because some of these people will be your family members. Some of these people will be your friends. Some of these people will be your classmates. But don't spend too much time with them, because they can't help you with your dream, especially when they live in a nightmare. So avoid listening to the dream killers. Number 4, most definitely do not complain. Listen, I know you're going through it. I know you've been doing this. You like, Billy, but I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I'm not seeing but little results. Listen, don't quit now. Don't quit now. Remember, I told you, comment book if you want this book. But whatever you do, don't quit now. All right? And don't complain. I'm gonna put in the video. Make sure you watch that video or put it in. Blame won't unclog the drain. I'm telling you, go like that. Oh, I actually got a video also called what is it called? Complaining doesn't work, it just irks. Watch that video. Like I said, I'm gonna put all of it in the description of this video. Let me go. Number 5. Last one is have patience. Have patience. I did a video not long ago called Faith plus Patience equals Trust. Remember, I told you step number 2 is develop faith. Step number 5 is have patience. Both of them together is how you're going to trust God. You're going to have to trust God through this ordeal. You're going to have to wait it out. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, these people that was complaining, that didn't believe, they didn't enter in the promised land, and God had to wait until they died out. Joshua went into the promised land, though I believe Caleb too. I'm not sure, but I know for sure Joshua did, because he took over after Moses. But they didn't make it into the promised land. But guess what? Joshua had to wait it out. He had to wait till all them people died. Listen, you're gonna have some haters. Just wait it out until they die off. I don't mean literally, but I mean till they don't matter no more. Are you following me? You're going to have patience. And you may be saying, well, Billy, I did all of this, but it seemed like it's still not working. If that's you, I have an answer for you. Watch this video right here if it's not working. And this video is going to bless you. And you're going to, if you're saying, Billy, the math ain't math, watch this video. Just click it right there. And I'll see you in that video. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay blessed. And always remember that the word is your life.